So that's when I said, I don't care how much money you have. I'm not. Oh, hello. Are we live?
No, those dirty Jews. We can say whatever we want for a little while.
Oh my goodness, you are terrible.
I am terrible.
Your mother might be watching.
Well, yeah, she might. Okay.
Yeah. Boom. You just said an anti-Semitic comment. Boom.
Oh no, we all love the Jews. I don't know what God's chosen people. We're not jealous at all.
I'm just gonna let you keep talking. I'm not gonna say anything.
I am Ray Richards, also known as the Sugar Ray, arduously known as the guy that isn't Trey and not the reason why people watch.
I am Trey, also known as Jester's Loose 618. I'm not the reason people watch.
You are. People love you, bro.
I try.
Someone's like, it's like an hour of hanging out with Trey, and then once in a while Ray gets to make a joke. It's the best of both worlds.
Who says that?
Paul. We can say hello to Paul because he's been waiting for this too. Hi, Paul.
The assassin. Hi, Paul.
No, wrong Paul. This is Paul. Oh, I don't want to say his name. I don't want.
Okay, that's fine. I might not know this Paul.
That's his last name.
Got it.
Okay.
Hi, Paul. I know this Paul. Hi, Paul.
Yeah, you do. There are a lot of Pauls though.
I thought I didn't know any other Pauls. I was wrong.
You forgot. I forgot about Paul. You forgot about Paul.
Well, I always say his name together, which obviously I won't for the purposes of anonymity in the video, but like it's never just Paul, it's Paul surname.
Okay. So today we're going to talk about a couple movies. I'm going to tell you about Paperboy first. And then What?
We're starting with that?
Yeah, we're going to start with the terrible story. Just so that you can get geared up. And then Blade Runner and Tucker and Dale versus Evil, what we've named the event after.
Yes.
And
do you want me to check the text messages? I have them right here.
You could. Yeah, that would be fine.
So high tech, guys.
I was hoping you would check while I was talking. We could do this smoothly.
You know, that would have been a good idea, but I was busy playing 5 seconds worth of Magic 2014. Not even the most recent.
That's okay. Ooh, Paperboy. I watched Rock the Casbah in theaters.
That has a 7% on Rotten Tomatoes. I want you to know that. That's
silly. It's not 7% worthy. It's pretty good.
So
7%?
Check it out.
That's silly. It is not a 7.
So here are the movies I have in our text messages: Pretty in Pink, Blade Runner, War Games, Weekend at Bernie's. I watched Wet Hot American Summer.
Oh, that's the 4th one that I really wanted.
That's the one.
Oh God, I didn't rewatch that for a 6th time for this. I watched it like a week ago. I didn't rewatch it this week.
Can you really not remember it enough? I mean,
I do love that. Well, like I watched the movie originally, and then they came out with the television show, so I rewatched the show. So
Right.
while I watched the show, I'm all like, that was really well done, and like now I feel like watching the movie again, and I did.
There you go.
I watched it maybe twice more after that.
So let's start with Paperboy. We will come back to Wet Hot.
Okay. Do you have any? Well, I thought one thing I mentioned first. Are you familiar with the Warcraft franchise?
I am somewhat familiar with the Warcraft franchise. I played the free trial of World of Warcraft up to 10th level. I have played Warcraft 3, and I think I might have played a little Warcraft 2 back in the day, but I've never owned a Warcraft game.
I played a bit of the skirmish in Warcraft, the first Warcraft, and then I played Warcraft 3. And would you be excited if they came out with a Warcraft movie? Because they are.
I heard about that. Okay, I was not excited because this is a video game movie which has been historically bad. But then I found out Industrial Light and Magic is doing all the effects, and I saw the effects of that orc face. I genuinely thought that was motion capture, and somebody's like, oh no, that's perfect. That's like completely CGI.
Yeah, that looks like a fantastic orc face.
So that alone makes me want to see it. This is the new Avatar for me. Like, if nothing else, I will see it for the special effects.
Okay.
Like, I saw Avatar twice, and that movie sucks.
I I didn't actually see Avatar, but I'm gonna bet Rock the Casbah is better than Avatar. I'm just gonna throw
Many
that out.
people disagree with you, as did the box office.
No, the box office doesn't give quality its due.
No, it's just money earned, and I'm just saying, you know, Avatar is still like the
Just
second.
loading something over me. Just got it. I really liked Rock the Casbah.
You're allowed to like Rock the Casbah. I'm just telling you the fact that I learned, and the only thing I can say about that movie, having not seen it myself.
What do they say?
Like, I looked it up, and I'm like, what is Rock the Casbah other than a, what is it, Clash song? Or maybe it's
I don't know.
The Clash or the Ramones. Rock the Casbah, rock the Casbah. I'm probably way off on that.
I don't think either of those are Rock the Casbah. I figured
I have the internet at my fingertips. It's incredible, really.
it could be the Ramones. You know, I usually associate that song with garbage. So, I mean, it could be either of those bands that are famous, and I could just hate them. Like, I listen to the Grateful Dead.
Clash! It is the Clash! Boom!
Clash. Okay. Man, I don't like the Clash then. Let's throw that out there.
The album Combat Rock, released in 1982.
Yeah, not gonna go listen to the Clash now. That is not an impressive song. No, dude. Where do you think in the storyline it will end up? Will it be like Warcraft, or will it be like when the necromancers are still with and the undead are still with the orcs? Or do you think it'll be after they're split?
It'll probably be just orcs and humans to start off to keep it simple, I'm thinking. But I know next to nothing about it. This is just me speculating based on movies and trying to get this movie out there. Like, we've seen the orc. We don't know what else we're going to see, but I feel like if there's going to be a necromancer, that would be their poster boy, not an orc. We've seen orcs.
Well, it used to be in, I think, up till 3, but in Warcraft 1 and 2 at least, the necromancy was part of the orcs' shtick. So the orcs would have necromancers and would bring stuff back to life. But by the time 3 came around, they became their own faction. So the undead like went with the evil that's invading, and the orcs kind of left as like an indigenous kind of people, and that set up the whole factions for Warcraft.
Okay.
It's the common enemies.
I'm just saying, like, if there was going to be a necromancer, I feel like they would have released that, and it wouldn't be a picture of a dude and a picture of an orc.
I feel like it would have been like in the background, like you see like a little guy loading up a meat wagon or like bringing up a worker like in the background of the village maybe. So I just don't know where in the story will be.
I don't know either. Again, this is complete speculation. All I know is that we were supposed to get a trailer today or last week, and I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, I know. Well, what I know about the Warcraft story is that more of it has happened in World of Warcraft than actually in the Warcraft games now.
Well, which one made more money?
Well, yeah, well, that, and whenever things happen in the story now, it's a gang of heroes do this thing. It's not like a singular hero thing anymore.
Right.
So, and like so many heroes and villains have like died or come back or been like wraithed or have been axed from the original story. Like I'm pretty sure every named character from that was in Warcraft 3 is now dead, and they've replaced them with new characters in Warcraft.
I mean, that would make sense.
Yeah, so it's such fun. In other such fun news, my life is about to die because of Fallout 4, and also the same day, Legacy of the Void, the StarCraft expansion, is coming out.
Oh, well, that's probably why it's coming out that day, to try and combat it.
But I haven't seen anything for Legacy of the Void, but I bought it already.
Dude, it's gonna sell. It's like the Star Wars Episode 7 advertising. They've only shown us stuff from the first third of that movie. Why? Because pre-sales are breaking box office records.
Oh, they are. I wanted to avoid that because I'm hipster, but I think we already have tickets. I'm pretty sure we do.
Okay, so here's how nerdy I am. I'm seeing it twice in a row, potentially a third time.
No, bro.
It's not even out. It could suck.
I know. I
I
know
don't
what that
think it's
is.
going to. I think that they learned their lesson from episode 1, but it could completely suck.
It could.
I don't think it will, and I have my own theories on that. You want to
I hope
continue
not.
on that on Star Wars news, because I could have a whole podcast about that.
I know you could. So let's steer away from that. I think I had another piece of news, but I forget it. So never mind.
What's that?
I think I had another piece of movie tidbit, but I don't.
You should probably
Remember,
start writing this stuff down. You're the host. I'm the co-host. I don't do jack.
I should start taking notes. I thought about taking notes, and then I didn't. then
You took notes last time. You had questions.
well, I start. Did I take notes? Oh well. Well, I was about to. I was gonna rewatch last week's a little bit, but then my oven stopped working. I think so. I called my parents, so then they started talking to me. So
That's completely acceptable.
yes, I was.
Your oven stopped working. You need that to eat. Well, you don't need that.
I don't need it to eat. I need to have a completely evenly warm lasagna. But other than that, I don't need it. So I ate the edges of a lasagna today, but other than that, I don't need.
You have a microwave? Could that work?
Yeah, it'll probably work. That's going to be probably how I'm going to tackle the rest of the lasagna.
This is such an interesting movie cast, by
is.
the way.
Have you seen the movie Rock the Lasagna? It has a 7% on Rotten Tomatoes, but it has tomatoes in it. So I feel like they're just doing it to not feel like they're shelling out to their own. Is this actually funny?
I think so.
Okay. Well, good.
As long as people have the context of Rock the Casbah being 7% on Rotten Tomatoes and you highly recommending that I watch it.
I didn't highly... it's weird. It's weird. I don't think I have my thoughts solid on it.
That's
Anyway.
completely valid. It takes me a while to get used to, like, what do I actually think about this movie? You know, there's a lot of fridge logic that has to happen. Like, oh, that movie was so great. And then you get to the fridge to get yourself a drink. And then you realize, wait, how does that work?
Yeah,
That's
like, I definitely don't feel like it deserves a 7%.
Okay.
Like, at the least. One movie that I do always recommend you watch,
Gone.
Inverse Girl.
What is that?
It says Gone Girl. It's inversed in the screen, I realize now.
No, it says Gone Girl on mine.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
It's inversed in mine. It's Ingad Lorg.
Inog. I'm not spending enough brain power.
Which I believe I spoiled for you, so you need to watch it to see if that
I'll watch it up eventually.
Eventually, you will, and then you'll report on it.
But
But the movie you will not watch eventually is Paperboy.
please explain.
Okay, there's 4 points where I feel like you wouldn't like Paperboy. So
Now, is this Ray wouldn't like it, or general audiences wouldn't like it, or what?
I don't know. I kind of liked it, and general audiences did not like it
Fair
when
enough.
it came out. But it is a Fiasco movie. So remember when we played Fiasco?
I do remember when we played Fiasco.
So the premise of a Fiasco movie is that you have the sphere of loosely related characters,
Mm-hmm.
and they each want something or have a goal or have a need,
Mm-hmm.
and the story is them all trying to fulfill their needs at once, and for some reason it ties them together a little bit. But at one point there's the tilt where things go kind of wrong. They run out of time, there's a ticking clock, there's a burning building, something goes wrong, and then the results of the movies happen, and I like it as a movie structure just because it's so varied by like what can happen to people, because it is almost random if someone will have a good or bad ending in a noir or in a Fiasco movie,
Sure.
right?
And you like Fiasco movies, generally speaking.
You don't like?
I'm saying you do.
I do like it, and I actually did kind of like Paperboy, but I thought that you would not.
I have seen one Fiasco movie, Snatch. It's not bad, but
All right. Have you seen the classic Fargo?
no, I have not.
Okay, well there's the first movie for next time.
Got it.
That's not Coen Brothers. It is the Coen Brothers? Yeah, it's the Coen Brothers. It's the Coen Brothers. It's in
The Coen Brothers or the Garfield Coen Brothers?
the good one.
I know. It's pretty critically acclaimed. I hear about it all the time.
It's really good, and I haven't started watching the series yet, but I hear like the series really grabs the spirit of it, but like retreads some of it too. But anyways, so this is the same kind of based off a true story feeling, but you're watching like this isn't based off a true story. That's just your excuse to give people shitty endings. And so
we'll come back to that.
The first reason why I think that you would hate it is that it is very, it's not like a straight up dirty movie, and there's not like nudity, but it's very crass, and it is a very sexual movie.
Got it.
So the characters that we have is, well, the setup for everything is John Cusack has gone to jail for killing a sheriff.
Did he shoot the deputy?
No, he may have killed the sheriff, and the sheriff is set up as this racist, bigoted person who shot more black people than anyone in the county, like up to that point.
Okay.
So much so that it's almost questionable if he was actually in the right, though he was like a drunkard and he was mean and he was desperately corrupt, right? But John Cusack goes to jail for killing this person. Matthew McConaughey plays a journalist, and Matthew McConaughey wants to get to the bottom of the corruption of the jail sentence.
Sure.
Kind of like a podcast in Serial. Have you listened to Serial?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Serial is about a journalist that digs into someone's court case to see if it was really them who did it.
Got it.
So Matthew McConaughey is digging in to see if if he's rightfully been put to jail, if it was a summary, if there's anything wrong with the law of what the Louisiana did. It's actually him returning to his hometown to try to fix the corruption that he felt was there.
Okay.
Then Matthew McConaughey is related to the Paperboy, and the Paperboy is Matthew McConaughey's little brother.
Okay.
And he is a senior, and he's a swim star, but he hurt himself, so he wasn't able to get like a swim scholarship or anything like that. So he's pretty much just being a paperboy, hanging out at home. It's in Florida. It's in a town that's right by the deep swamps. It's hot. It's the 70s. There's no air conditioning. And then there's related people to Matthew McConaughey and his brother of their family. There's their dad, and there's their dad's girlfriend, who are loosely related, but they're not integral to the plot.
Sure.
And then there's the housekeeper, who's kind of like a childhood friend to the Paperboy.
Okay.
And she is black. But she's kind of finding this weird place because she feels like she's part of this family, but she's also not, because she's literally like treated badly by the stepmom girlfriend.
Sure.
Then there is Matthew McConaughey's writing partner, and he's the writer that writes everything up. I don't understand why Matthew McConaughey isn't the writer, but it's just how they do the setup. Like
he does the interviews and I don't know.
Yep, and he's actually a British person. He's a black British person, and that's how. And now he's in the Deep South in the 70s.
Yeah.
Yep. Who do we have? Oh, and then we have the lover, Nicole Kidman, and she heard about Cusack being sent to jail, and she started a relationship over the mail, and they are engaged, but she has never met him, and so they just have this like tawdry letter, weird jail thing going about. But she is how, because she wants to see John Cusack in prison, she agrees to go with them, and John Cusack seeing her is the only way he's agreeing to be interviewed for their story.
Okay.
And then the Paperboy gets to tag along as a driver / ride around for everyone / kind of guide.
So they're all together in the same.
So they're all together. And they're all together when there's the first scene where they come and they meet, and they set John Cusack in one end of the room, and they set everyone, like these 4 other people at the other side of the room. Mm-hmm. And right off the bat, like John Cusack is racist. Is racist, like talks about trying to get rid of the other guy, trying to get rid of the writer, and then he is crass and very commandeering, owning, misogynistic over the lover, but they kind of stick with it.
Okay.
And there's this awkward and terrible and like well done in the awkward scene where pretty much John Cusack is staring at the girl and she is staring back, and they're breathing hard, and they pretty much climax in front of everyone.
Oh my goodness.
That's reason 2 why Trey wouldn't like this movie. I was uncomfortable.
Is reason 3 better or worse than this?
No, I may have that I felt like that was the clincher. Like as soon as that point finished and they like zoom in on John Cusack's like crotch, I'm like, okay. Trey does not need to see this movie. I kept watching. But then so to tie it all together, the Paperboy's motivation is he's trying to find, well, he's told to find like a reason and a purpose in life, like his brother.
Besides swimming.
Right? And his brother has like cut up faces and is very secretive about his personal life. Mm-hmm. And the Paperboy ends up falling hard for the lover of John Cusack.
the Nicole Kidman? Yeah,
Nicole Kidman. But they end up hanging out like a lot. Like there's a lot of scenes with just them like shooting the shit and and hanging out and waiting for this court case, or waiting to get into prison, or unwinding after the prison. So there's this reason number 3 is he's at the Paperboy is at the beach with Nicole Kidman, and he goes for a swim and he gets attacked. He swims into a bunch of jellyfish. Just gets attacked, and he barely makes it back into the shore.
Yeah. And
he's crawling up, and a bunch of people see him, and they're like, "Oh no, he's covered with jellyfish. We need to call the police officer. Like, we need the stings, the poison's gonna kill him."
Yeah.
But do you, survival tip? Do you know how to
pee on it?
Yes. So Nicole Kidman ends up peeing on the Paperboy. Number 3.
And number 4. Let's just get through this. I want to talk about good movies.
So number 4. So the tilt comes, and the tilt is they run out of time. They hit their deadline for the story, but they have enough to where they can like post like maybe this guy didn't do it. And so because they ran out of time and because they didn't know the truth, Matthew McConaughey goes into a deep spiral. The Paperboy gets jealous because the writer hangs out with Nicole Kidman and suspects they did something, so he fights him, and he calls the writer an N-word, which the housekeeper overhears, so she leaves the family because she's just upset by that. Like, I thought you were better than that, and she just takes off. The writer takes off to write the story.
And the housekeeper is his childhood friend.
Childhood friend, yeah. So then we learn a little bit about Matthew McConaughey. So point number 4 is Matthew McConaughey's personal life is he's gay, but not just like a normal gay. He is hardcore, kinky, self-mutilation gay. And we see this.
And reason number 4.
It's reason number 4. And the Paperboy actually ends up rescuing his brother from some sadistic other gay people who are high or whatever. And we just see Matthew McConaughey cut up, naked, like hog-tied, like over a thing of plastic, like bleeding. And
we're talking like Pulp Fiction.
Like Pulp Fiction, yeah.
Except where that was over pretty quickly and just really weird and not.
Yeah, this is like the aftermath of that.
Goodness.
And so after that, he has to go to the hospital, and eventually their father ends up getting married, and the Paperboy is able to convince his brother to kind of join up. John Cusack, because they rushed the story and they didn't have the truth, gets released from prison. So he marries Nicole Kidman and takes her off to the swamp where he lived. The terrible hour hike out of town, no way there, no roads, swamp.
Okay.
And she used to be like a society girl. But she ends up calling for help, and she calls and she sends the Paperboy and she asks for help. And she sends it up. She's able to disguise her call for help in the invitation to their parents' wedding.
Okay.
Or their father and his girlfriend's wedding.
Okay.
So, but she doesn't show up, and she's asking for help. So Matthew McConaughey and the Paperboy go to see what is up with Nicole Kidman and to take her away if she doesn't want to be there. But by the time they get there, John Cusack has already killed Nicole Kidman. Like, just killed her. And they're like, we want to see her. And he's like, she ain't here. She's gone. Leave. And they end up seeing the body, and they fight. And there's a struggle between the three of them. And John Cusack kills the brother.
Okay.
He kills Matthew McConaughey. And the Paperboy's left to try to swim away from him in the swamp. And John Cusack pursues in a boat. But the Paperboy doubles back, gets both of the bodies, gets in an extra boat, and rides off. And John Cusack ends up getting arrested for the murder of Nicole Kidman and and Matthew McConaughey. And that is how the film ends.
That's messed up.
Yes, it is messed up.
You enjoyed this movie?
I thought it was like, I don't like what happens in it.
Sure.
But it is the kind of movie that it kind of sets out to be. And I don't even know if I like recommend it to people, which is why I'm okay explaining the entire plot.
Pleasure for you?
No, it was definitely a ride, and it was definitely well done and well acted, and I was definitely I was scared.
I will say some of the worst movies in the world can be made passable or even good if the cast and crew care. If the cast and crew genuinely want to be there and sell to you that you want to be there too. I genuinely believe that.
Right. It was something else.
Okay, so
do you I'm glad I didn't make you see this movie.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Okay.
I feel like 1 and 4 are probably 2 and 4 are the worst for you. Like
number three was up there, but 2 and 4 were probably the
for sure.
All right. What's the next movie you want to talk about?
Blade Runner. So Blade Runner. I have this movie on Blu-ray, and I have the director's cut, so it doesn't have narration, which I've actually never missed. I don't think this movie needs narration.
Who's heard the narration has missed it.
What was that?
After that. So for the audience out there, we are referring to the original versions of this movie, the Ridley Scott's Blade Runner, have a lot of Harrison Ford talking to himself and you over the movie. And a lot of the dialogue is really unnecessary. And again, we can come back to that. But it's so we watched the director's cut.
Director's cut. When I talk, the camera goes to me.
The final cut, yeah.
Final cut.
Yeah, that's the one I watched too, or at least the one without narration. I think it was the final cut or director's cut. But I mean, Blade Runner is one of those movies where there's so many different director's cut and extended cut and theatrical cut versions that it's almost impossible to keep them straight. Like more than Star Wars.
Greedo shot first. I don't.
All right, so Ray, what are your impressions of Blade Runner? Generally?
I love Blade Runner. It is so great and layered, and it still feels like a future that could happen, even though I'm pretty sure we've had, what is it, 2006 it takes place in?
Something like that.
Or is it 30,000? Does it?
No, it is not
It's
30,000.
not
It is
30,000.
20,000, and I'm pretty sure it's past. I think it might be like 2006 or 2010 or something like that.
Is it? Maybe it's 99. Maybe it's one of those.
It might be.
Yeah, it could be for all I know. It was made in.
I think it happened in the past. I think I remember that.
Because it came out in
86.
86? Yeah.
86, 87, something like that. Doesn't really matter. Anybody watching us probably won't care. Or they can Google it. One of the two.
It is so good. I love this movie and how layered it is, and just how the camera work. I bet you the camera work is different and it's more because it's shorter. But I love the long camera work after like they go to see the guy with the eyes, the eye dude,
Yes.
and it shows them walking, and the camera just lingers, keeps after they leave frame. The camera just lingers left and like just takes in the scenery and these people riding down on bicycles, and it just does so much to build the world, and it feels.
It does. It is one of the better dystopian worlds built without saying a thing. That is one thing this movie really did well. If I could circle back, you mentioned you love how layered this movie is. Could you elaborate on that, please?
Well, I love how the set is layered, and I love how
foreground, middle, background.
Yeah, and how let's see, how humanity is questioned and what makes people human, which is like, I feel like that's the big sci-fi question for a lot of things.
It's definitely the big Blade Runner question.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of other things also tackle that, like Ex Machina and Her, and so many sci-fi things. Just that's a go-to sci-fi thing.
Part of artificial intelligence. At what point does it gain sentience?
Right.
Because it was made. Yeah.
And there's also layers to like the acting, and like the more you learn, the more you learn about like behind the scenes, the more you learn about like how they come through to like actually make it a really good movie. So, do you think Harrison Ford is a replicant?
Yes.
Yeah. That did you hear that is what the director has officially said?
No, I did not.
Yeah.
For me, the deciding factor was that final scene where he has the little paper unicorn / man given to him, like indicating you are a man made by men.
Well, how that relates back is he had a dream sequence.
Right.
He had the dream sequence where there was that metal unicorn that ran, and that's supposed to be the clincher. But like that wasn't in the original cut, and Harrison Ford didn't know it. So Harrison Ford was actually really pissed when he heard that Ridley Scott told everyone that
he's angry with a lot of his movies, though. Let's be fair.
But like that's also part of his character. Like Ridley Scott did not give Harrison Ford a lot of direction for how to be the Blade Runner.
Yeah. Huh.
So, and it kind of shows in there, like he's trying to act like Nuari, and he's trying to act cool, but also he doesn't have. It kind of does show that he's kind of aimless.
Yeah.
And kind of sad, and like also possibly dealing with new emotions, and it's so good. I love it.
So I will say I liked this movie. I didn't love this movie. I can see why people like you enjoy this movie so much. I can see why it has such a cult following.
Right.
But personally, it did not quite do it for me. I will probably not go out and buy it. But I completely understand why it has the cult following, why the scenery is fantastic, the setting is great, the subject matter is fantastic. The Tears in the Rain speech was amazing.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
But a lot of the stuff, and maybe it's because I haven't looked into the behind the scenes enough, but it was just kind of weird to me, the shift between all the replicants wanting to kill him to the Tears in the Rain speech.
Right? That's really, because the first time I saw it, I did see it on TV a couple years ago. I didn't love it then, and but that was before like I dug into it, and when I found out there is like more you can dig into, and there is these layers you can see, like you can just, it's a really good movie if you just want to sit back and relax, and you can watch it mindlessly. But if you do watch and pay attention, there is stuff for you that is there.
Ray, I have a dog scratching at me. You want to go to another reading break?
Oh, we could.
She needs to go outside. I'm sorry to do this.
Oh, it's all right.
All right.
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Potty.
So today we will be reading from the Welcome to Night Vale novel. Welcome to Night Vale is a podcast. I should just, give me a second to mute Trey. Let's not mute Trey. I won't know when he comes back because I'll be reading. But we're going to read from the beginning. Now, Welcome to Night Vale is a podcast about a small town, a desert community where the unknown happens. And the big thing about the unknown is where authors have made the unknown terrible and scary. Welcome to Night Vale takes the unknown and makes it mundane. And I think you will see what I mean. Pawn shops in Night Vale work like this. First, you need an item to pawn. To get this, you need a lot of time behind you. Years spent living and existing until you've reached a point where you believe that you exist. And physical items exist. And the concept of ownership exists. And that, improbable as all those are, these absurd beliefs line up in a way that results in you owning an item. Nice job. Nicely done. Second, once you believe you own an item, you must reach a point where you need money more than you need the item. This is the easiest step. Just own an item and own a body with needs and wait. The only pawn shop in Night Vale, in the town of Night Vale, is run by a very young Jackie Fierro. It has no name. But if you need it, you will know where it is. This knowledge will come suddenly, often while you're in the shower. You will collapse, surrounded by a bright, glowing blackness, and you will find yourself on your hands and knees, the warm water running over you, and you will know where the pawn shop is. You will smell must and soap and feel the stab of panic about how alone you are. It will be like most showers you've taken. Before you can offer Jackie your item, there will first be some hand washing, which is why there are bowls of purified water throughout the shop. You need to chant a little as you wash your hands, of course. Of course, you should always chant when you wash your hands. It is only hygienic. When you have been properly purified, you will lay the item on the counter, and Jackie will consider it. Jackie will have her feet on the counter. She will lean back. $11, she will say. She will always say $11. You will not respond. You are ultimately unnecessary in this process. You are ultimately unnecessary. No, she will say, and waving her hands. Then she will name her actual price. Usually it is money. Sometimes it is other things. Sometimes it is dreams, experiences, or visions. Then you will die. Only for a little while. Then the item will be giving a price tag, $11. Everything in the pawn shop is that price. No matter what, she loaned you for it. Once you are no longer dead, she will give you a ticket, which later you will be able to exchange for the item. Or at any time you may look at the ticket and remember the item. Remembering is free. You are leaving the store now. You are only an example, and it's probably safer for you not to be in the story anyway.
What is that book?
It's the Welcome to Night Vale novel.
Okay. All right, so we're talking about Blade Runner, and you said that there's more to dig into, and that makes it a lot better.
Yeah, at least for me. And you said, at least for me or people like me, and you did not qualify that with several compliments, which I now want.
Ray, you're amazing. You're awesome. You need a haircut.
That's partly true. This is getting a little shaggy. I need to get rid of this.
So yes, people like you like this movie. And when I said people like you, I just was referring to people who like Blade Runner, and I don't blame you for that.
People who like Blade Runner will like this movie, Blade Runner.
I did not say that. I can understand why there is a following of people that like Blade Runner. I am not one of those people, having watched it once on my own and having not dug into it very much beyond what has been shown to me, which pretty much begins and ends with Deckard as a replicant.
Yeah, he's a replicant.
But the parts that confused me most were specifically the parts that stuck out to me were in the ending scene, where you're in the middle of this battle, this super strong murder bot versus Deckard, who is a robot but doesn't know it, and he's getting the crap beaten out of him, and the robot has him on the ropes, and then he just lets him live.
And then he soliloquies and dies with time.
Yes. And he looks like a gargoyle, and I know that's intentional. But I don't know why. And
yeah, I don't know why either. What do you mean looks like a gargoyle?
Because he's like crouched and he has his head down. He looks like a gargoyle. He's on top of a roof.
Is there any significance to gargoyles? They're like guardians?
Yeah, they like protect you from evil spirits and stuff.
Right? And have drama with their baby mamas and being alive 1,000 years and then waking up in Brooklyn.
I guess. Dun, 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 da, da, da. And then you're voiced by the Star Trek crew.
Oh, that... God, I need to rewatch that show now.
That's a good show.
Star Trek is going back on the air.
Yeah. We can come back to that. Blade Runner.
Yeah.
Explain to me what there is to dig into why this movie is a cinematic masterpiece that everybody who watches movies agrees is a cinematic masterpiece.
Well, it has a lot to do with the camera work and the layering, and
which I agree with. It's very well done. I view it the same way I viewed the original Tim Burton Batman movie. Like, Tim Burton brought Gotham to life for me. Like, Christopher Nolan did a good job of showing Chicago as Gotham.
And Pittsburgh and another city?
Yes. So, but like, and that was his goal, is he wanted to put Batman in real life. But Tim Burton brought the comic book Gotham to life with the pipes, the Gothic architecture, the steam, the dirt. It looked and felt like Gotham, and I love it for that.
Oh, man. But I do love the terrible Batman movie Gotham because they take a giant statue of a man and make it a building, a telescope.
Yeah, that director was a homosexual.
And fantastic at... I want that building. I want a giant man.
Giant man
statue building. It would be the best.
Oh.
Probably the worst for every architectural reason, but the best.
So many naked men in those movies.
Bat nipples.
So the layering of the camera work is fantastic.
And the world building, and just the thematic threads throughout, like you never actually see a negative test for a replicant. Everyone who's tested for being a replicant is a replicant.
That's very true.
And also, I did not recognize until someone pointed out that that's Commander Adama from Battlestar Galactica. That is the creepy other Blade Runner that follows him around.
Edward James Olmos? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that's Edward James Olmos in Blade Runner.
You're kidding me. You're
that's him.
I'm fact checking this.
Do it now. But I watched it, and then I don't remember.
Oh my goodness, it's him. That's right.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, you're kidding me.
No, he looks so different. He looks old in a different way.
But and speaking of The Dark Knight, there is or specifically Batman Begins. You know that jerk who took over Wayne Enterprises when Bruce Wayne left?
I do not recall.
He's like, didn't you get the memo? That guy?
Nope, I don't remember.
Okay, well, he's the head of Wayne Corp, and he's the one who put Morgan Freeman in research and development.
Morgan Freeman! Sorry.
He's the one who put Morgan Freeman in applied sciences, and he's like, I'm combining the two departments, and I'm firing you. Didn't you get the memo? That's the head replicant.
Yeah. Okay. No, I don't remember Batman Begins.
That's okay. I have an unnatural memory for movies and Christopher Nolan movies.
I only do for movies that I love. Like, I saw this, and then I also saw, like, Ghost in the Shell about the same time that I rewatched this. Not for unrelated reasons. But they do have, like, very similar kind of Hong Kongy kind of layered culture.
See,
Almost like
that's
post
the thing I
culture.
don't get. Why does everyone assume we are combining cultures with China in the future? Blade Runner.
Well, it's not just China, but it's a bunch. Well, it is. Is it mainly China in there?
What's that?
I don't. Is it mainly just China?
Well, they had the geisha, so that implies Japan.
Yeah, and like all of the, maybe it might just be like all of the androids really kind of give me a Czech kind of huge chin kind of feeling. But that could just be me.
Okay.
But also this is all based off Isaac Asimov's work.
Do robots dream of electric sheep?
And also the Foundation series. Do Robots Dream of Electric Sheep, Foundation and Empire, and Second Foundation.
Okay.
And in it, society has pretty much used up the Earth, and anyone of any means just lives off planet and
Sure.
like goes to Mars and goes to mining colony and like Jupiter and just lives far away. And it's also the same world that iRobot is a precursor to.
Really?
Yes. All based off the same material.
Wow. Did not know that.
So iRobot is kind of like a prequel to Blade Runner.
I liked that movie.
It was okay. Not as deep as Blade Runner, but still good.
No, it's not, but it was
Asks the exact same damn question. I'm pretty sure that's what all of the Foundation is about.
what all of sci-fi does. You're absolutely right. Not all of sci-fi.
I'm definitely not. Well,
I mean, you go back to Metropolis, and that's the same question it was asking.
right.
That's an old movie.
That was the thing, the story I was reaching for, but could not remember. Good on you, Metropolis.
I try.
What are they called in Metropolis? Are they just called like a gargoyle? No, that's not right.
No, it's called Metropolis. I'm pretty sure.
No, the moving non-metal men or whatever. Aren't there?
I thought.
I thought there was an old story with like a golem, but it was like supposed to be human.
Don't remember.
Okay. I thought it was Metropolis.
Metropolis is the robot that they got the design for C-3PO from.
Yeah.
And Cybermen from Doctor Who.
Cybermen are the worst.
You just
sidetrack. Have you seen the new Doctor Who?
No, I stopped after David Tennant.
Okay.
I'm a purist.
I saw it last season, but I haven't seen this season. I don't blame you for stopping after David Tennant.
I didn't love Matt Sloan.
Smith.
What?
Matt Smith.
Yeah. I think Matt Sloan is the guy who does Chad Vader.
Yeah. Would he make a good doctor?
What?
Would he make a good doctor?
No.
I'm all for Donna Doctor coming back.
Oh, I want that.
Yes.
So want that.
I would watch that.
Donna was the best.
I'd buy that for $1.
So
speaking of shows that jump to movies and series and then come back as its own prequel, Wet Hot American Summer!
Speaking of movies that jump around in tone and style, oh my god.
Oh god, I love it when they all OD on heroin and then they just go back.
That was funny. Oh, we're going to town. This will be great. They get burgers. They get joints.
They rob a woman.
OD in a crack house, and then it just cuts to their back at camp. Going to town's always fun, even for an hour. Well, okay, so there was that. But that wasn't a style change. That was just, oh, hey, let's have another joke in
that
here.
That was a gag one. And like,
and I'm okay with that. And I did really like the scene where the bus shows up and they're gonna finally take down Camp Tiger Claw, but then the kids find it trite. By the way, that bus was empty.
Was it?
There were no kids on that bus.
You know, I think I did see that. There was the guy on the bus. Then there's
there's the driver and one dude that steps out the door to talk to him. He's like,
yeah,
they say it's trite and we're not going to do it. Okay, yeah, they're totally cool with it. That was
kids are really into it. Yeah, they.
That was hilarious. Let's see what else, because there's the robot guy who can control the wind.
Or that was possibly the Skynet falling on them. Not Skynet.
But why would that be winding in a building?
Atmosphere? Going through the atmosphere?
Doesn't do that.
Okay. Then it was the guy then. Yeah, they leave that up for interpretation.
Yeah, they did. Oh, or
they're very Blade Runner of them.
When it suddenly turns into a crime drama / horror movie. When, where's the phone? The only other phone's in the nurse's cabin. Ah, just smashing everything.
They're just knocking over everything.
Hilarious and a good gag and a complete tonal shift. So I guess they're just getting used to it, getting us used to the tone shift because the ending was stupid.
The relationship ending or
the relationship ending where she dumps him, says it's all about sex. Yeah, that's funny enough. But then he walks off sad, and the comedy movie ends on that and lingers on that. Are you kidding me?
It's great. I love it.
Stupid.
That's what I wanted. That's what I wanted.
End with a joke. End with a gag. Have him slip on a banana peel. Give me something.
You already had talking canned vegetables. Your Bob Burgers, yeah.
And then, of course, they explained that in the TV show.
Oh, did you watch the TV show too?
I've watched a few episodes of the TV show. I've not finished it. But
yeah.
I saw that he fell in the radioactive swamp. And
I'm kind of sad they explained as many things as they did.
I agree.
But it's still good.
Do they explain how the main character loses so much weight in between the first day and last day of summer?
Did they?
Do they? I'm asking.
I don't think they do. I don't think they address that.
No.
That just goes into their last minute throwaway gag of, I'm sure by the end of summer everyone will feel 15 years younger. And Michael Ian Black is so skinny. Not Michael Ian Black. Michael, whatever, the guy that has the love story. He's so skinny in the movie. He's a tiny person. He makes me feel fat.
He turned from Sam into me.
I feel like he's a little worse off than you. It's so weird. I didn't like his character in the show. I liked him a lot better in the movie.
I liked him in the movie. I haven't seen enough of the show, but
yeah,
But I liked Amy Poehler better in the show from what I saw of her.
Yeah, Amy Poehler. That was one of her first breakthrough. That was her first big movie thing.
That was her first breakout role.
Yeah.
No. So, also, Paul Rudd is a Benjamin Button. Can we talk about that for a second?
Paul Rudd is the best. Paul Rudd and Bradley Cooper, both look for fantastic for always.
In 15 years.
Yeah, I feel like Bradley Cooper didn't get famous until 4 years ago.
I know. Funny story. Both those guys went on to star in Marvel films too.
Yeah, that's right. Because he's a Rocket. I forgot.
Bradley Cooper is Rocket, and of course Ant-Man.
I love Paul Rudd's entrance in the show.
I love when the wind's blowing and he's playing air guitar through it when everybody else is freaking out. That's pretty.
I love it when he. I love it when she makes him clean up his tray and he's just so mopey about it. Putting an effort to not put an effort.
So it was fantastic until the ending. The very tail ending, the very last shot is the only thing I had a huge problem with that I remember. I mean, obviously it was still very crass, and I don't like swearing in general, and there was plenty of that to go around. But
and the only sex scene was between two dudes.
I don't want any sex scenes in my movies, thank you. But
that. Those, and you think their friends are going to do a terrible thing because their friend is gay, and they bring him a bathtub.
I didn't know if you guys already had this, so we saved the receipt. Oh, thanks, guys. See, again, there were so many great gags, and these people clearly understand comedy and had a lot of fun making this movie, but then they just kind of throw that all away for a super depressing final shot.
See, I don't think it's super depressing. I think it's kind of like, yeah, you're better off without the girl.
But he didn't feel that way. He was still sad. He was still recovering from it.
They probably should have instead like had him like been like okay, and then he like ties up the bottom of his shirt and puts on the bandana and like goes high kicking away.
Exactly. Like
I would have liked that better also.
Like we didn't see him grow from it. Like he got the girl left him because she's very horrible and vapid, but then he didn't grow from it at all. She's just like, "Are you okay?" And he's just like, "Yeah, I guess."
Well, I think that's where it is. Like she's not horrible. Well, when you're 16, sex is not a good way to go through, but it's not the terrible vapid thing to not be interested in someone for that reason.
It is a terrible vapid reason to be in love with someone and then leave them because somebody else is hotter and she's all about the sex and the body and the face.
But the somebody else is Paul Rudd.
I don't care. Paul Rudd is a douche in this movie.
He's the best douche. In Child Endangerment.
He's very funny in his scenes, but she is absolutely horrible. We even get the cliched ending where I love you now, Coop, for no apparent reason because I pulled your shirt out of that tiny box. Hilarious visual gag, by the way. But again, he doesn't grow from it. We don't get another scene where he gets an even hotter girlfriend, or he gets together with Ducky off screen. And
well, if he got like a hotter girlfriend, that would also be vapid, though.
I know, but if you would have built up in the movie, maybe he gets together with somebody who's better for him, or at least in some way he grows. And
if he would have been better off deaded.
Better off deaded, exactly. Fantastic film. But instead, we end on a super depressing note where he hasn't learned a thing.
Well, I think he has to learn a thing, but also, the movie takes place over like a day, right?
Yeah, but a movie still has a beginning, middle, and end where a character goes through an arc, and
not necessarily. That is not true. A movie can still be an event movie. Place, time, an event. It doesn't have survival. It doesn't have to be about character going.
Well, what is this movie about if not character growing then?
The last day of summer camp.
Since when does the last day of summer camp have all of that crap?
It is one day. It is so great.
I'm just saying, like, and if that's the case, then why did everybody else get character development and resolution? The director got character development and resolution. Elizabeth Banks kind of got character development and resolution.
Which is very confusing after the prequel.
But you know, Paul Rudd stayed the same because he's the jerk. The girl stayed together with the jerk who treats her badly because that's what she deserves, because that's what she wants, I guess. But like our main character, Coop, the guy we're supposed to feel for most, the underdog, gets absolutely nothing out of this story.
Well, a lot of the movie was about undermining the tropes of movies and summer camp.
And I understand that, and
that's one of the bigger things that I really loved, because you're not going to stay with your high school girlfriend.
No.
Generally,
there is with that, but then people move on and become better people after those experiences. Typically, that's my big problem. I know they were undoing tropes, but usually that's to a comedic effect. For example, the kids say it's kind of overdone and trite. Yeah, it's kind of overdone and trite. Yeah, they're cool with it, and then we move on, and everybody gets a laugh out of it. This is the one scene in the movie that we're not supposed to get a laugh out of. After she's done monologuing about how it's all about the sex for her.
I still get a laugh out of it, though.
Well, you're horrible.
You're
not horrible.
I might be horrible.
I'm just mad that it's like you have this wonderful meal. Not even wonderful meal. It's just a good meal. This is not I would not consider this a wonderful movie. It's just a decent movie. Not upset that I saw it, except for the ending. So instead of getting dessert, it farts in my face.
I don't think it was. I laughed. I loved the ending.
I laughed up until the point where he's just walking off screen, roll credits.
Yeah, because for me, like, at the end of Better Off Dead, like, you're still you're still a kid in high school, and she's still gonna have to go back to Paris.
Absolutely, but at least he grew for it. He
Yeah.
moved past his obsession and realized that you can actually have a relationship with someone when you move on from that obsession with this perfect girl who turns out to be not so perfect. He found a girl who liked him for him. Who knows? They could have ended up together. Either way, he grew as a person for it.
I love this movie so much. I just do.
That's okay. And like I said, pretty much everything else in this movie was pretty decent, especially the can talking. I'm sad that they explained that in the show, honestly.
Well, I'm all right. I was glad to see him in live action.
Yeah, that was fantastic.
Like, he was not happy as a person. He's much happier as a can of fruit.
He is. And then he's talking to him, and then he nods to him at the end, and the can nods back. I almost died. That was hilarious.
And the show, I feel like the cast is so. Do you feel like there's anyone in the cast that wasn't well utilized? Like maybe like
almost the guy with glasses who was on the raft trip.
Yeah, he does do a lot though.
Yeah,
the guy from
almost. He was almost not utilized well.
And there's the taller kind of chubby guy with long hair who like seems to be in like. I feel at one point I feel like he was in every scene.
He's in every scene.
Like he's helping out the softball team, and then he's in the capture the flag.
He's the bat boy. He's the bat boy for the softball team in a camp of kids, like middle school kids.
Umpire, like yeah.
There's the bat boy, and he has a cape for it, and it's amazing. The redheaded guy is the one who typically talks to the chef about his weird Vietnam things, like fondling his sweaters.
I'm gonna rub sand on my ass. What was that? What? I thought you said you were gonna rub sand on your ass. Like, no, I wouldn't say that.
I said I was gonna.
And I expected like him to get fired or them to just like ignore him to death, but like they deal with it.
They bring out the fridge.
They bring out the fridge so he can hump it. He starts humping it in front of everyone.
That was terrible. but I laughed awkwardly at it. It's not a movie I would recommend to other people. But again, you have these scenes where they break tropes and we laugh at it. And then it ends on a trope that we are meant to be sad about.
It's so great. You keep coming back to the ending.
Because it bugged me. That's the big thing about this movie. Everything else was okay, passable even.
I think it's off your chest by now, isn't it?
No! It still happened. I just watched it today. These are all emotions. You are experiencing my emotions in real time right now, Ray. You are experiencing my emotions. Next movie. What else we got? Dale and Tucker?
I didn't think of a good segue yet.
That ending was evil. Next movie is Dale and Tucker versus evil. Transitioned.
Oh god, this movie was so sad.
Dale and Tucker?
Yeah, God.
I laughed at this one. I think we're gonna have a reversal here.
Oh god, no, teenage kid. Well, it was definitely horrifying for me.
How so?
Oh man, any sharp stump. I don't think I can get skewered like anyone that movie did, but I'm gonna feel like I can be every time I go in the forest. All these crazy kids keep killing each other. Now, officer, this is
evil. Two hillbillies go out in the woods to fix up this cabin. A bunch of teenagers go out there and think that the hillbillies are the typical murderer,
or movie murderer, not
movie murderer types.
Hillbillies are nice people.
But they're actually really nice people, and the teenagers start to fight back, but accidentally end up killing themselves trying to fight the hillbillies. And so it just keeps getting worse and worse. Like you'll have a scene where he's like using his chainsaw to cut some wood to help build up the house, but then he's attacked by a hornet's nest. So he's running through the forest being attacked by bees, waving a chainsaw around, and the kids think he's after them. Oh, it's hilarious.
Oh, it's so great. I love it.
Hilarious. And then it turns out the hillbillies aren't dumb, and they're actually really smart. And
right? So it's
See, that's what I mean. I really felt for this movie. This was a good movie.
Yeah. It revealed that the sheriff was the original serial killer in the 70s, right?
The
Was
sheriff?
that part of Yeah.
Because I know the crazy kid's dad was.
I feel like he's the crazy kid's dad.
The sheriff?
I feel like they were implying that.
I didn't catch that, but I only saw.
But like, it didn't come to a head with the sheriff. Like, I was expecting any moment, like the sheriff would turn the gun, is like, now it's my turn to have fun or whatever. But instead, he like gets accidentally killed by the rafter. I felt like that came like right before he was about to turn on them or something.
Oh, I didn't catch that.
Yeah, because just how the sheriff reacts to everything, like these kids that are half torn apart and like these bodies all over. Like, the sheriff does not. I feel like the sheriff didn't react like this is someone in trouble or this is someone I should be wary of. But he reacted like, yeah, these are my people. These are what we do. Let's kill some kids together.
I didn't.
But that didn't really come to a head for me. It just kind of left.
I thought the sheriff was just supposed to be another, like I thought he was just understanding. Well, I guess the whole thing is a misunderstanding.
Yeah, if he wasn't like if he's not a murderer, then he's like the most understanding police officer to see two men carry around half a severed human legs.
Right?
This was the only explanation in my head.
Do you know how this looks, Dale? Yes, I know how this looks, Tucker. Oh, that movie was great.
They have my dog.
I really felt for Dale at the end too. I mean, like, I really wanted him to get the girl. I wanted him to save her. I wanted him to have what he wants. I even wanted the house to be fixed up, and Tucker's not that nice of a character. But they cut off his fingers.
Damn. Right? There's something wrong with your friends.
Hey, college kids, come back. We have your friend.
College kids, we'll leave you a note. We have your friend.
Oh, that's amazing. Oh, that movie was fantastic. I really enjoyed myself watching that movie.
Hillbilly people don't want to kill you. They want to fish.
So, do you have a favorite scene?
Oh.
If not, that's okay. I don't really have a favorite for this movie either.
I don't know. There's a lot of slapstick, and it's hard to balance out one slapstick like or another.
It really is.
Like, it's definitely the most like audacious scene when the guy pretty much leaps into
the wood chipper.
That was like half the movie. I was just like shocked, like, oh no.
That one made me laugh the hardest, especially when they look around the corner and it looks like he's shoving him into it when he's actually just trying to pull him out.
Like, no matter what, like all three of those people need a lot of therapy. Like, that is so traumatic. Like, you see it in movies and you think that's like violence, but even horror movies, it's like an attractive kind of violence.
It is.
But if you ever, I don't recommend you do this because they are illegal for a reason. But if you ever watch any stealth snuff films where people like literally die, like there's a couple of ones out there where people shoot themselves in the head or are playing like Russian roulette and like just ragged out. It isn't attractive, and it is like terrible and violent. So I feel like if someone really saw a bunch of people die, that would be like so traumatic.
But the way they do it, like the sound effects they use, the speed at which it happens, they do make it comedic.
Yeah, they what was it? In movies and video games, they make violence very attractive and nothing like actual real world violence.
If it was, then I mean,
it would be terrible. Yeah, but
like even Hellsing, where they're trying to like go overboard in violence and like the human body doesn't have that much blood and they're trying to do that for like a visceral experience.
Right? It's still like entertaining.
Yeah. To the people who like that kind of thing.
I don't know why I brought that up. It's such a downer point.
Either way, Dale and Tucker was hilariously done.
It was hilarious.
And I'm very glad I saw that movie.
Right? It was I several points I was told to see it, but I hadn't gotten around to it.
Sure.
And then like someone put it on their like top 10 best movies from the decade that you didn't see.
Oh wow.
I bet you I saw them, and then like one of them was Tucker and Dale. I'm like, yeah, I haven't seen Tucker and Dale. Like part of that is I don't like horror movies and gore. Really,
it's not amazing. I like the subtly psychological horror movies,
right?
Don't need gore. Yeah.
Yeah, like Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah, that's the one I was gonna pick. Even though that one does have plenty of gore in it, like
and crass things.
What?
And crass things.
Well, and like even like I was going into John Carpenter's The Thing, hoping that it was going to be a case of the alien could be anyone, so you can't trust anyone.
Well, no, it's body horror. It's hardcore body horror in that one.
Which I still liked the themes to it, but it was kind of disappointing when
it's hard to look at for me.
When it became about let's make this alien as gross as possible.
Yeah.
That was disappointing because I wanted to see this killer could be anyone. You can't trust anyone. A lot like the X-Files episode that was basically the same thing. You don't know who's infected by the alien brain parasite, so everyone is suspicious, but everybody's also low on sleep.
Right.
So everybody's acting suspicious anyway, and I love that. I love that type of theme, and that's
like everyone's been bored for like 6 months, and now something is happening.
And now nobody knows what to do with it because one of them is dead, and like.
Oh, and the dogs go first.
Yep, I have 2 doggies.
Doggies.
I don't mind dogs dying.
I think Sam and I have watched that movie twice. I'm pretty sure I own it. It's in one of my.
The Thing, John Carpenter's The Thing.
Yeah, The Thing.
See, I'm not saying I mind that movie, but that's what I was really hoping for, is a subtle psychological horror. I don't want or need gore. I want to be like, oh man, and I can't even describe it. I want it to be a mystery. I want it to be suspenseful, but I don't need gore. I mean, right. the master of horror himself, Alfred Hitchcock, said there's no like all of the horror is in the suspense, not in the execution of it. There's no horror in the bang except for the initial.
I feel like there's horror in Tucker and Dale. Just you could just trip and be dead.
Those are some very accident-prone teenagers.
Holy cow, they really were. It's like, I got you a helmet.
Oh man. I'm not gonna say I genuinely believed that romance in that movie, but they still pulled it off. They still pulled it off pretty well.
They do.
Compared to other movies where like the romance is really forced just to have a romance.
Like it didn't feel evil. Like it wasn't like Breakfast at Tiffany's kind of ending romance.
No.
Where it's just like, yeah, I haven't convinced you to be with me, but the movie's over, so we have to kiss.
So we better be together. Cat came back. Let's
just jump some logic.
We've hung out together enough. We're just together. It's cool.
I mean, you are correct about every point about why we could be together, and calling it out is kind of bullshit, but let's be together.
So anything else to say about Tucker and Dale other than it's fantastic and people should see it?
It's fantastic and people should see it. And just, I've actually gone around in woods like that my whole life, like in Kentucky and in Michigan, and there's lots of trees like that.
Sure.
And they're much safer than what it shows in this movie. So don't be afraid of a forest, but next time I go in the woods, I will be.
I mean, is what it is. Dale and Tucker was a fantastic. I guess today's theme is a reversal of tropes, but
that's
and very.
I feel like that's what I was aiming for.
There's a lot of very tongue-in-cheek humor in Wet Hot and in Dale and Tucker. Very self-aware humor.
Oh man, I should take notes as I go because I think I forgot the thing I thought of earlier.
Well, man, you gotta take notes. Type them out, write them out, do what you gotta do. One day.
And the trick is to do it when you're talking, because then the camera isn't on me. That's also when I pick my nose, as you know. I
did not know that's why, because you're always up on my screen. I just see myself with a thumbnail in the corner.
Oh, my screen, my screen flips to whoever's put out as like the director's screen. So when it goes to you, I know the camera isn't on me.
I gotcha.
I just remembered I haven't told you that. You might be freaked out that I'm picking my nose at you, but I'm not.
Okay, I'm good. We're stayed away. Even if you did, you can't touch me with your boogers.
And also, so you know, whenever I'm talking and I'm in the middle of a long-winded sentence, you can do whatever you want. People won't see. It'll be great.
Awesome.
But then I'll flip back.
Okay, so Dale Tucker is fantastic. There's not much else you can say about it. I really enjoyed watching this movie. There were some fantastic scenes.
They didn't box your ending.
The acting was good, not great, but it was definitely worth the watch. Glad I watched it.
I do wish I could see Alan Tudyk in more things. Like, I feel like this is the only.
He's in everything. He's in iRobot. He's in Wreck-It Ralph. He's in Firefly and Serenity.
Well, I know those ones, but I forgot about iRobot.
Yeah, you did.
I forgot he's in Blade Runner. He's in Blade Runner in iRobot.
What?
Oh no, yeah, he voices the iRobot in.
That's
Robot.
right. He's Sonny.
Yeah.
My name is Sonny. He does so much voice work and stuff. He's a great actor. He gets lots of small-ish roles that people don't go to see or don't remember that it's him.
Right? Yeah, totally. Alan Tudyk.
Love Alan Tudyk. Look up Alan Tudyk, viewer. You'll be like, oh, it's that guy.
I'm sure Paul knows.
Paul is our one viewer.
Probably no, but there's like 8. Unless Paul's watching this like 8 times.
I would not put that past Paul.
8, 12. Actually, I think the last episode got. Yeah, let's not look at this now. Let's not talk about analytics.
Meta. What's the next movie?
One thing. Paperboy.
Eh.
Did you get around to seeing The Fall?
No.
Okay.
I remember you weren't mentioning that one.
I think I mentioned I was trying to plan ahead.
Well, that's what we're watching next time. Have you seen Pretty in Pink?
I did not see Pretty in Pink.
Okay.
Oh yeah, it's onto your. Did we go through 4 movies already?
No, we went through Dale and Tucker, Wet Hot, Blade Runner, and Paperboy. Yeah, that's 4.
That was 4. Okay, now we're on to your movies. I haven't seen Pretty in Pink yet.
Okay.
Is this the movie where the girl loans out her panties, or is that 16 Candles?
I think that's 16 Candles. Still
I
more.
have not seen Pretty in Pink.
I have not seen 16 Candles, so touche. So the big thing, I recommend that you watch Pretty in Pink for next time because it's culturally relevant, and I won't say anything about the movie, so I don't prime anything unless you want me to. I mean, I can.
No, you can talk about it.
Okay. So the big thing on the internet with this is, so it's actually the same guy from Weekend at Bernie's, and I'll come to that because I watched that too. The same Eddie Haskell character from, not the same character, but the same actor. So the whole point of Pretty in Pink is it's another teen movie. I don't think John Hughes directed it but if he did, it's not his strongest work. Oh, he might have directed it. Shoot. It's not my favorite, but the big thing going around the internet now is people are rewatching this movie and they are seeing that. So there's a love triangle in there, right? You have this poor girl who lives with her father. Their mother left, and she goes to a school. I mean, every high school has this. There's, the richer kids and the poorer kids, and she's with the poorer kids. She likes a rich guy, but her best friend, who's totally in the friend zone throughout the movie, is Ducky, played by who's the non-Charlie Sheen from 2.5 Men?
The guy who plays Alan in 2.5 Men. I don't know his name. I also hate 2.5 Men. So.
I knew his name. I looked it up. You hate 2.5 Men?
Yeah, I really hate 2.5 Men.
May I ask why while I look it up?
Let's see, I don't have a prepared statement on it. It's just kind of.
That's totally.
I don't know. It feels along the line of the Big Bang Theory in that like the things that I loved were always like the butt of jokes, and instead of like actually like putting out like clever jokes, a lot of the times the joke would be look at the nerd or look at this lame thing, or not like an observation, just pointing at stuff and then like laughing at people. Mean. It's a mean show.
Side note, Can you put a note down that we should talk at extended length about The Big Bang Theory sometime? Because I would like to bang that out sometime.
Okay.
So it's actually John Cryer plays Ducky. John Cryer.
Oh, wait. Is it because you like The Big Bang Theory and I do not?
But I don't have a hatred for Big Bang Theory, but I understand your points and I agree with them. So we will talk
Okay.
about it later. I just think that's like a whole subject matter in and of itself. We can come back to that today if we have time, but
If you have time, I am free forever. I am the wood nymph of the internet. Oh, what foolish mortals! These mortals. I messed up.
So, Pretty in Pink, it's about a love triangle with John Cryer, Molly Ringwald, and the guy from Weekend at Bernie's. And so the guy from Weekend at Bernie's is the rich kid. Molly Ringwald is a poor girl who likes the rich kid.
And a redhead.
And
Forever.
And John Cryer plays the poor friend who has been Andy, Molly Ringwald's best friend since like the 6th grade. And he's been in love with her since the 6th grade. And she knows this. So the whole thing is the movie looks like it's shot like she'll realize she doesn't like the rich kid at all and she'll go back to Ducky because the rich kid doesn't really have a whole lot of personality.
Is that Bethany?
That's Bethany. Or no,
Bethany!
that's the roommate. Sorry, Bethany will be momentarily. I bet though.
I don't love your roommate. I love Bethany.
So the rich kid doesn't really have much of a personality, and people can feel free to disagree with me on that. But the big thing on the internet is that Molly Ringwald should have ended up with John Cryer. Andy should have gotten together with Ducky, and I want to see what you have to say about that.
Oh, okay. So I'm getting an assignment then. Okay, watch Pretty in Pink.
Yep.
Is it streaming anywhere? I looked in the library when we talked before. I didn't see it at my library.
I don't think it is.
I don't want to steal things, Trey. Okay, Pretty in Pink. I might.
I'm not telling you to steal things. Wait.
Of course you're not. I'm just going to hit up Walmart's $5 bin.
It's streaming on YouTube. Nope, due to copyright restrictions, it was a trap.
It's a trap.
That's why I try it. So Pretty in Pink, not my favorite movie, but I'll talk more at length with that when you have stuff to say too.
Okay. Do you feel free to talk about Weekend at Bernie's?
Oh,
Because
yeah.
I'm not sure if I watched that whole movie before when I was younger, or the movie is so one note that I understood. And
It's pretty predictable by today's standards.
yeah.
I still got a kick out of it. I still liked the jokes. I mean, I was born a decade late. Like, I love 80s stuff typically. And
I generally disagree with that because I feel like the internet is right where I need to be, and I can enjoy all the old things from the 80s and 70s.
that's valid.
But then I can still listen to David Bowie's brand new album, which isn't as good as the old stuff, but it's David Bowie in 2015.
I'm just saying, like, I like a lot of 80s stuff. I love 80s stuff, and I get it. Even when it's cliched and old, and even when it's brand new, like Better Off Dead is probably not as funny as some of the comedies that have come out. I'm going to go ahead and disagree with that. I'm going to go ahead and disagree with myself on that because those movies were movies that come out today suck.
They definitely don't have very many more rated R comedies.
What's that?
They definitely don't have as much rated R comedies. Like, I haven't seen the new Hot Tub Time Machine, but that's supposed to be kind of a throwback.
The first Hot Tub Time Machine. But either way, like, I loved Better Off Dead.
Did I say Heated Tub Time Machine? Did I?
No, you said Hot Tub.
Okay.
I think. I don't know. Let's play the tape.
Hotted Tub.
So, I mean, even Pretty in Pink, I didn't love, but Weekend at Bernie's, I really enjoyed watching this movie. It was it got. I mean, it's a lot of cliche jokes. It's exactly what you expect. A guy dies and they pretend he's alive to continue living in his Hampton apartment house. But I still enjoyed a lot of the jokes. I still enjoyed the characters. I still enjoyed the script. I still enjoyed the directing, the framing, the scenes. I really enjoyed it.
Hey, remember when fraud and identity theft was funny? Weekend at Bernie's!
So, Weekend at Bernie's, I mean, again,
Actually, there was that identity theft movie. Maybe it is still funny.
I think they've had horror movies about that too now. So,
I don't need
Face Off.
Halloween. No more horror movies.
Hey, there's still Nightmare Before Christmas.
Right? Oh, that's not a horror. What?
What's up?
I don't know. It's kind of a horror movie, I guess.
I think the director actually came out and said it's a Halloween movie. I didn't love that movie. And
it's a crossover movie for fanboys of Halloween and Christmas,
I love Christmas, but so I definitely think it's a movie for fans of Tim Burton, which I'm not automatically. I've liked some of his work, but I generally.
Speaking of puppeting around dead things, Weekend at Bernie's.
Weekend at Bernie's. So I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed how they framed it too. Like Bernie doesn't just die; it's actually a mob hit, and nobody realizes he's dead because everyone in the Hamptons is so shallow and vapid that they don't even realize they're all so drunk and coked up.
But they're awesome and need to be around in a party.
But everybody's a horrible person. Like even the guy who's supposed to be the moral center and the responsible one is constantly changing around his morals so that he can get together with the girl and stuff. And so I found it to be very well done, and I feel like it holds up pretty well.
Okay.
How about you? Do you remember anything about Weekend at Bernie's?
I remember the one joke of the guy's dead and no one notices. And then
that's kind of the movie shtick.
How did the movie end?
So that's a good question. I know they have to go back at the end of the weekend, and the hitman keeps coming back because the hitman keeps seeing Bernie walking around and thinking he did a good job of killing Bernie. So he comes back, and there's this big climactic thing where the three dudes are running around in the house being chased by a guy with a gun. And then, of course, that guy gets arrested, and he goes crazy. They declare Bernie dead, but there's one last gag of him being alive and being buried in the sand. And
he was alive the whole time?
What?
Wait, he was alive the whole time?
No. But there's still one last gag where he's on the gurney, and the gurney starts rolling downhill, hits a fence, he flies off the gurney, and behind the main characters, starts getting up. And so they turn around and said, well, I guess that's the last we'll actually see a Bernie. Turn around, run away, roll credits.
Okay.
Again, I'm not going to say it changed comedy. I'm not going to say it was groundbreaking, but it was amusing and entertaining and did what it set out to do, much like you with Paperboy.
Right. You can't fault it for executing every terrible thing it wanted to do.
How dare you do your job? But even then, like, the jokes were funny, the characters were memorable, and it was enjoyable. And a lot of it was that 80s, early 90s, like, rich people fantasy. Like, two regular people suddenly come into a large fortune or get to move into somebody's house. It was that general trope, that general fantasy, like middle class turns to upper class in a blink of an eye.
Of course, they can only do that with crime, so there's that other layer of of commentary.
Well, and I don't know if you'll love it because a lot of the humor has been reused for like sitcoms and stuff.
Right.
But like this was the precursor. This was, I won't say it's before it was cliched, but it was before it was overdone and cliched.
I want to return this parrot. It's dead.
It's gone and meet its maker. Pull the curtain and join the choir invisible. This is an ex-parrot. So that's Weekend at Bernie's. What else have I watched? That might be it. Do you remember me mentioning anything? Any movies you want me to talk about that we didn't mention?
I don't believe so. Like, I think
Lady Hawk.
We're trying to like limit it to the 4, and then you like mentioned a couple movies a couple days, and I'm like, oh no, do I need to watch movies? And I haven't because I've been.
I didn't expect to watch all your movies before the end of this. So.
And
Like
you
I
didn't
just
have to watch Paperboy.
So you should watch Lady Hawk because it's a
Lady-
super obscure film, but it's actually really well done.
Lady Hawk. Okay, what's the basis of this suggestion?
So you may have remembered that I mentioned last time that I'm continuing through my Ready Player One watch list.
Right.
All the 80s movies referenced in Ready Player One. Two of the main characters they're the main character and his best friend in the book have an extended conversation about Lady Hawk and about whether the so Ready Player One, Willy Wonka of video games dies and says, "Hey, anybody who can find this super well hidden Easter egg in my video game gets to inherit my fortune." So they're searching for this Easter egg, and in order to find it, they have to have a knowledge and love of everything that the Willy Wonka did. And he loved 80s movies, music, and video games, as well as culture. So,
And they're lucky he hit his love for porno. Otherwise, they'd have to go really deep.
but so like they're talking about 80s movies, and there's always this discussion whether a movie is canon or not, which means did the creator of the video game, James Halliday, actually enjoy this movie or music or video game? So they have an extended conversation as to whether Lady Hawk is canon or not, whether James Halliday liked this movie. And the main character thinks so, his best friend does not. So it was mentioned and it was on the list, and I watched it, and it's actually pretty stinking good in my opinion.
Okay, so what's the Lady Hawk reference that I can watch out for? And when it happens, I'll be like, roll credits, Lady Hawk.
It's actually a medieval romance based around the Catholic Church and a curse.
Man, period pieces.
What's that?
Period pieces. What's the last period movie I saw?
So, I mean, it's got Matthew Broderick, Gwyneth Paltrow, and Tears in the Rain guy. What is his name? Rutger Hauer, the guy who did the Tears in the Rain speech, and it's directed by the same guy who directed the first two Superman movies, Richard Donner.
Okay, so Lady Hawk.
And it's Lady Hawk, it's all one word ending with an E.
Okay.
Oh, you did
Lady Hockey.
Lady Hawkeye.
Hockey. Oh, you beat me to it.
So also, and I don't want to talk about it now because I have a lot to say about it. Have you seen any of the Mad Max movies?
Yes.
We should talk about those.
Okay, which one first?
I've seen all four, so I don't care where we start.
Okay, which one first?
You want to just go in order or talk about Fury Road first?
Fury Road!
Do you own it?
Damn.
I
Fury Road!
enjoyed that movie.
Oh, there's
Get wrecked.
I didn't think it would actually fall. I didn't know. I did it.
My raccoon wound.
Okay. So
But okay, so one last thing about Lady Hawk. Did you watch Dragonheart with us?
Can I say yes?
You can say yes.
Yes.
It gives me the same feelings that Dragonheart did, in that it's like, it's a fantasy and it's really cheesy, but everybody's trying, so I care.
Okay.
And it's actually done really well once you get past the campiness of it and the cheesiness.
Baked cheese. Okay, well, when I thought we were going to have this done before Halloween, I had a couple Halloween choices picked out.
Tell me your Halloween choices. Perhaps we can still do them.
Well, my main one was Sleepaway Camp. And Sleepaway Camp is actually a horror movie. But most of the summer camp tropes that are taken in Wet Hot American Summer actually come from Sleepaway Camp, which is a horror movie where most of the cast dies.
Wow.
They're like, just about all of the camp counselors are child molesters, and they die, and you're happy about it, kind of.
Okay.
And there is like one like legendary twist about a little girl like at the end, and there's a lot of dead people, and but like, and I kind of want to see it just for like the factor of like somehow this inspired Wet Hot American Summer. And I kind of want to see it off that curiosity factor, but on the other hand, like, I don't want to know. It's a horror movie with a lot of death, and I don't. I'm not a fan.
So what else? Like, did you have any other horror movies?
That was the main horror movie suggestion. I thought that would. I felt like you would round it out with the best maybe, because there aren't like a lot of horror movies I feel like are good. Like I saw Saw 3, and I saw like, oh god, this is gonna annoy the crap out of me. I witnessed like a preview for the original Saw on IFC when I was in high school, and it seemed really interesting. But then I also understand that that's like only like one gag and one trap, so it's not as interesting as I thought. It might not be as interesting as I trumped it up to be, like because there's the whole setup where there's the two men and they're in the bathroom, and you have a link. Go away,
Don't
Link.
worry about that. Keep talking. I'll reference.
Okay, there's two men in the bathroom, and they're chained to each other on the other side. And in the middle of the room, there's this dead guy, and there's a key somewhere. But one of them might just have to saw off their leg to let them both out, because there's no way, because the saw can't go through the key.
Saw? Because I've seen Saw.
Yeah, the original. Yeah, that's from Saw, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I thought that would be like the entire hour and a half movie, and apparently it's not. And there's multiple games or whatever.
It's also a crime drama, and
right. See, I feel like it would be more interesting if it was just the two of them, like just coping with this.
The problem is that doesn't make enough for a. That's not enough for a.
That's why it seems so interesting, because it didn't seem like enough for a movie. But if they do make it enough for a movie, then it would be amazing.
I think that is a short film, but I don't know.
Also, I love short things. Short things are the best.
You're just saying that because you are. Oh.
I'm not Ray William Johnson, so I do not drop those jokes.
You have not what?
So I do not drop those jokes. Like television shows, like you watch one and you think, this is going to be short, and then you watch the whole season, you're like, oh, that is 10 times longer than the movie I would have seen.
That's true. Okay, so that list I just sent in the group chat, that's the movies I'm planning to watch, or most of them I have watched, to be honest with you.
Where did you send this list?
Do you need me to send it again?
Send it through the chat that is not. Oh, there it is. There it is. This. Every movie. What is? Oh, every movie referenced in your book?
Yep.
Oh, Rocky Horror Picture Show.
That one's referenced pretty heavily. Where's? I don't see that on.
And it has horror in it. Where? Do I still?
So going off this list, I've also seen Breakfast Clubs, but I think Breakfast Club, but we've talked about that. I've seen War Games. I've seen Blade Runners. I have seen Better Off Dead. Sneakers and Weird Science are on my list, ready to watch.
What is that? Monday. What is it? Monday Laser Time is doing a live movie of Rocky Horror Picture Show, I think. That's where I was planning on watching it next.
Oh, I watched The Evil Dead.
Ooh.
Rocky Horror Picture Show.
This is your list of 80s movies, huh? Oh, there's one. Okay. Actually, oh, my suggestion is on here. So while we're talking about John Cusack, and actually we've used the words "say anything" several times.
Oh, Say Anything.
So we should watch Say Anything and try to figure out what is the plot.
I've been avoiding that movie so hard.
It's time. It is time. The time's now. Say Anything.
Okay.
And then the other fantastic movie that I saw, I saw after I watched the 4 that we had set up for today.
Yeah.
I was like prepping up for the next time. It's The Fall, and it is wonderful. It's about there's this man and there's this Romani girl, and they're in a hospital in the 1920s.
Okay.
And it's kind of a meta film because he's a stuntman for the movies, for the motion pictures, and he's telling this girl a story in order to get her to get drugs for him. And it keeps flashing back to the story, and it's got a very have you seen The One?
Wait, John. Wait, with Jet Li.
Yes, with Jet Li. Run. Yeah, with Jet Li. So it's got a very like stylized kind of storytelling.
Jet Li. Sorry.
Yeah. So it reminded me a lot of The One. In like whenever they go in the story, it's very bright and beautiful and color, and the cinematography is like amazing and over the top.
Okay. Huh. All right, I'll add that to my list.
Okay.
You'll have to text me most of these, by the way.
All right. I saw it in the library when I was talking to you before, and I'm like, I've never seen this anywhere for less than $40. Getting it, and I saw it, and I loved it. I loved it. Do you want to talk about Big Bang Theory?
I want to sometime. Do you want to right now?
Well, I figured we'd do like a watchy assignment for it.
I've seen enough of it. I've seen the first like 2 seasons.
That's it?
In my life. Plus change.
It's like 7 seasons long, isn't it?
I am aware.
Okay. I think I've seen 3 or 4 seasons, and then
you dislike this show, but you've seen 3 or 4 seasons?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I have.
If I don't like something, I typically stop watching, but I guess that's where we differ.
I think I watched it back when I was not an adult. Was that back then? I don't remember. I think I watched it when someone else was watching it, and I had to share it.
Before you realized what it was and how you felt about it?
I don't remember exactly.
We could talk about it now if you want.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like I've said my piece. The automatic director I have somehow turned off in looking at your pictures. So I've taken over manually directing our.
I'm sorry, it stopped looking at me.
Yeah, it stopped switching automatically for who's talking.
Interesting.
It does this once in a while. I want to say.
Also, I'm gonna have to get going here pretty soon, so I think this is the last video. Okay. So, Big Bang Theory.
So let's hang off on it then. Let's just tease it then.
Okay, that's fine. So next week, next time, we're talking about Big Bang Theory. We're talking about The Fall. We're talking about
Say Anything, Pretty in Pink, Lady Hawk, and Fury Road.
I'm good with. Do you want to do a total Mad Max or just Fury Road?
Let's just do Fury Road.
Okay. Like I said, I've seen all 4.
And then you can trump up the other Mad Max movies, and I can be disappointed by them.
You will be disappointed by them. Fury Road is objectively the best. Not my favorite, but objectively the best.
I have heard literally no one say that who has seen them all.
Really?
Really? Everyone's like, Road Warrior's better, or the other one's better, or this one.
Like I said, I like Road Warrior better because I'm an 80s dude. I'm an 80s. I love the 80s, and the Road Warrior is nothing but 80s.
Wow, it'll be an interesting conversation for me.
The first one bored me, and Thunderdome was there.
It did not blow your Thunderdome?
It did not. 2 movies entered, 1 movie left.
All right, to end off, do you have one cool thing? I probably didn't give you enough heads up. Can you make one up?
I know. I couldn't find anything. One cool thing.
Make one up. I have.
Oh, I do.
One like this. I'll do.
I do. You first.
One cool thing that's happening right now, which actually is ironic that I've taken up like 4 movies to watch, but no, 6, whatever this list is. Right now it is National Novel Writing Month, or NaNoWriMo, where people write 1,600 words a day, and by the end of the month they'll have a fully written novel, and I am participating in it. Do you have a thing? Oh, it didn't work. I was supposed to hit the keyboard and it was going to light up because that's where I've been working on it. So I've been doing it kind of casually, but like it's kind of just like I really want to round out the novel I've been working on like forever.
Sure.
So this is how I'm doing it. And if you want, you can check my progress at nanoramo.org. Whatever. I'm under the Sugar Ray on it. I'm the Sugar Ray on everything. You can harass me. People can harass me on social media about it.
Okay, so my cool thing is actually in relation to Star Wars Episode 7. Here, okay, so we've been getting a lot of... So when it first was announced, I was like, really? And then they started releasing a trailer, and I'm like, okay, I'm listening. They release another trailer, and I start to get excited. They release the footage that shows that they're using practical effects, and I really start to get excited, but cautiously so. I don't know if this movie's going to suck. Everybody was excited for Episode 1, too. I mean, so I was genuine. So I was at this point I was excited and genuinely nervous that I was so excited. And then I read something that made me happy. So you know how Harrison Ford kind of hates everything and is generally reported to be an unpleasant person to be around?
I'm familiar with this, yes.
So and you know how Episode 6 almost didn't have Han Solo in it because they didn't know if Harrison Ford was coming back because he never loved Star Wars. He said the next movie is, and I quote, good, really good. Harrison Ford likes the next movie. Now he could be just trumping it up in interviews and they could be throwing giant bags of money at him for it. But I genuinely believe that this next movie will be good. And that's my cool thing.
So Star Wars is your one cool thing. One thing that
that one bit of news from Star Wars. Oh my gosh, what?
Okay, even Harrison Ford says is good. Yeah, I didn't watch. I've tried not to watch any trailers because I'm gonna see this movie. I'm gonna see it. I don't need to be convinced. I'm gonna watch it.
Oh, everybody's gonna watch it, but I just think it's gonna be good. I don't think we're gonna be disappointed.
Okay, you just want to get my hopes up.
You got my hopes up. I'm dragging you down with me.
You sneaky snake. You sneaky, reeky, snaky, stooky.
All right, I'm signing off now.
All right.
You just keep calling me a snake. I'm insulted. Signing off.
It's not like you're a snail. So it won't hurt you.
All right. Thanks for having me, Ray. Text me the next movie list. I will watch as many as I can.
All right. Bye-bye.